Hey everybody, it's Craig. So this is a sand cast ring. Not too bad, huh? All right, hopefully it's in focus. So we're gonna make it. So we're gonna use this new system. This is the master. And so what we're gonna do is, first thing we do, of course, is chop this up. Get it real fluffy, you know. Fluffier the better. And then we're gonna take, I'm gonna put it back in the container. And then what you want to do, you want to have something, you know, like a heavy metal plate on the base. And we're going to take this and these parts here, and then we're going to take the top half of the flask, and we're going to take, so this is a size 9. Okay, so this is going to fit here. This right here is going to sit on top of there. We're going to pull those together. Put the cornstarch or talc, whatever you're using. We're going to sprinkle this in. We're going to pack it down just with the thumb or finger so we get it fairly compact and all the way out to the sides. And we're going to start packing this down with the dowel. And if you notice, I'm not hammering it. When you hammer something, it gets really compact. And I found with this system, making it not quite as compact is actually a plus. Once you get it to there, then we're going to scrape this off. I'm going to move that. Okay, we'll pull this back, and then we're going to take this off the top. And that gives us a really nice half round. And this half round is pretty much exactly halfway through. And that's really important. So now this part here we're going to set aside. We're going to take that out. I've already taken another one of these, slid the master on there. Trying to make sure this is in the picture. So then we're going to set this down. Going to add more of the cornstarch. We're going to add it to there as well. And so this side I've written size 9 on there, and I'm going to line that up with the registration mark here. And we're just going to set that down just like that. And then get it into a position where you can push it down with your thumbs straight in. And that's what these posts do. They help guide it into place. Okay, and you want to look here. This one's still up a little bit. So we're going to push that in. We want to get that down so it's flush on both sides. Now, next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the top half of the flask, and it's got a registration mark, and we're going to take and put it on the same side as the other registration mark. We're going to put that down. We're going to powder it. We're going to sprinkle in the clay. And again, here we go. We're going to just push it in with our thumb. You want to make sure it kind of gets compact or pushed out against the edge. Now I'm going to have to break this up into a couple videos unless I can figure out how to edit it. I'm not great with computers, but who knows, maybe I'll figure it out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to scrape that off. I'm going to move this again. Trying to do this a little cleaner. Put that in there. Okay, at this point, we're going to turn this on the side. And then we're going to, you want to pull it straight apart. And so now we have a really good impression on this side. And we'll just go ahead and start with this side. We're going to take, you always want to do this from this side. You don't want to do it from that side. So we're going to take, this is like a piece of tube, metal tubing. You could use a solid rod, but this seems to work really well. We're just going to push it straight down. Once it reaches the bottom, then we can pull it through. Just like that. And see how it kind of breaks away down there? So imagine if you pushed it this way and it broke away on this side, you'd have a big mess. So that's why we don't do it that way. Next thing we want to do, now you know a pocket knife works really good for this. But we're just going to use this tool here. And we're just going to cut this away. If you look, I cut the heck out of this finger the other day, so it's always sticking out like this. You want this to be nice and deep. You know, make the funnel on top big enough that you can hit it comfortably. And then I like to take and make it deeper using this other rod. And you really want it to be smooth in there. What happens is, a lot of times people don't make it smooth. And then what happens is the little granules of sand break off when they're casting, when they're pouring the metal, and they go down into your casting, and you end up with what looks like porosity, but it's really just the sand that got embedded into your piece. So then when we turn it over, I like to take this and round the edges again, and the reason for that is that when that molten metal is racing down through there, it's going to go around a nice rounded corner better than if it hit an edge, it could break it off. Okay, so we got that. Now we're going to move over, and this side here is done, and we're not going to add any vents, nothing like that. So now on this side, I found tapping this kind of loosens it up. And then I like to take my thumbs and put them on top of these posts and put my fingers under there and pull it straight up. And that gives me a really, really good impression. But you also want to check, look down in there, you know, pull it up close to you, turn it upside down and blow in there. Make sure nothing is trapped down in the little prongs. Okay, no vents in this. What we're going to do now, I'm going to set these aside. I don't know, I don't want to get any clay inside these. but I want to kind of keep them in the video. So next thing we want to do, uh-oh, I'm missing a part here. I gotta go get him. Okay, I'm back. And I got the wrong one. Man, this is not going good. Okay. Be great if I could edit that out. So I had to get the size 9 here. So what I want to do now is powder down inside there so that the clay's not going to stick. And we're going to take the clay, we're going to push it down in there. And once you get it flush on this side, you can scrape it off. And I find you need to turn it over. Do it again from the other side. And scrape it off. And at this point, you can kind of hold that. And actually, if you kind of tap it, kind of freeze it up a little bit. And you take your dowel. It's going to be tough without that finger. Let's see. So we want to push this out. Just like that. So this is going to be our core. So this is going to sit right down in there. And then you want to look on both ends here. Make sure it's flush. You don't want to push that or anything. And then you also want to make sure that this is all clean. That when you put the two halves together, nothing is sticking up that's going to cause a problem here to separate the two halves. So make sure that's clean. On this side, the same thing. Make sure this is nice and clean. I see people all the time with a bunch of extra material in there. So now we're going to take our registration marks and we're going to have to leave this piece down and we'll line up this side. Can't see what I'm doing. There. So now, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the black electrical tape around this. And then it's going to go in the toaster oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. And a lot of people ask me, why am I doing that? I am simply doing it because the vacuum and the toaster oven have increased the results, making the results much better. And so, you know, for me it works. Maybe for you, you may not want to do that, but that's why I'm doing it. It's made it better. So we'll end this here. Thanks, everybody.